The most interesting new device launched in the last fortnight has been the JCB Tough Phone Pro Smart, a full Android phone that's also drop-proof, dust-proof and waterproof. Specs are modest with a 3.2-inch HVGA display and Android 2.3, plus a 5-megapixel camera. It's chunky at 20mm thick, but you do get a 2000 mAh battery and all that ruggedized goodness. Would I rather have a JCB Tough Phone or a Motorola Defy Plus? It depends whether I was going to drop it in a river and then run it over with a lorry, or drop it in a stream and then run it over in my car, I think. The JCB is probably tougher, but the Defy Plus is definitely cheaper, smarter and sleeker. It's been a month or so of updates across the board. I won't go into detail for every device, but check your Android phone for ice cream sandwich updates. Several of the Sony Xperia handsets plus some Galaxy S2 have now got this. The Galaxy Nexus and Nexus S both got updates. Check your Windows phone for updates. My Lumia just got a big firmware update fixing battery issues plus specific updates for Nokia Drive and Maps. Check your Symbian phone for updates. Many devices got Microsoft Office Mobile offered. Others, including the Nokia 701 that I really liked, also got Nokia Bell Feature Pack 1, including a speed bump to 1.3 GHz. Nothing really for the iPhone, but maybe there's less to fix there. We're also between device launches. Samsung's about to reveal its much-anticipated Galaxy S3. I'm expecting a similar form factor to the 2, but with a smaller bezel, a 4.6-inch 720p screen and quad-core processor. Nokia has announced an NFC-equipped variant of the Lumia 610, but, well, yes, not very exciting there. In short, quiet on device news, so knock yourself out on device and application updates. Have fun. I love the idea of saving you all money, usually by pointing out the flaws in something you're eyeing up and thus saving you making a mistake, but also occasionally helping you delve into the second-hand market, either for yourself if money's tight, or perhaps as a second phone or play phone, or perhaps for another family member. The suggestions I'm about to make are from my local second-hand market, i.e. eBay here in the UK, and the prices are in UK pounds, but if you're elsewhere then hopefully you can take the suggestions and see if anything similar is available where you are, and for a relatively similar price. The threshold I set myself was £100, and I don't mean trying to find something mediocre from 6 months ago that's just dipped below this. I was looking for something that's a smartphone that's of high quality, that's really interesting and with a unique selling point from perhaps a couple of years ago, that you can now find in good condition for less than the £100 mark. In some cases a lot less, as you'll see. At number 10, not strictly a smartphone, but the bargain of the bunch. This is the 6-year-old Sony Ericsson K800i, the first phone in 2006 to have a high-quality, protected camera with true xenon flash. Amazing for its time. And come on, even if you just use it as an extra camera, an average selling price of about £25. At number 9, my favourite BlackBerry until the 9900 came along, the all singing, all dancing for 2008 Bold 9000. It had the perfect form factor, including a full leather back. No, really. And you can now get it for about £60 or so second hand, and I bet the battery lasts a lot longer than on 9900. At number 8, it's another BlackBerry, the Curve 9300, being pretty decent spec, and yet from only 18 months ago, yet already down to £70 second hand. The only downside really is the 2-megapixel camera, which wasn't great even in 2010. At number 7, it's my trusty Nokia N86 from 2009 at around £70 second hand. I keep going back to this, and it's the ultimate device in the classic N95 dual slide form factor with full metal mechanism and tempered glass front. And it's a superb camera, still the equal of the iPhone 4S's or HTC One X's today, with proper lens protection. Downside, well, the battery life isn't great, and the quarter VGA resolution and T9 inputs do take some getting used to. Staying with the quarter VGA T9 theme at number 6, Nokia's even older camera champion from 2007, the N82, is now around £40 second hand. Amazing considering you're getting a device with xenon flash that's still the party phone of choice for many people. The screen's titchy and the keys are fiddly, but who cares when it can take 100 drops onto dance floors and will freeze every last party moment with xenon for posterity. The final quarter VGA screen phone in this roundup, I promise, at number 5, the Nokia E72 at £60 second hand, solid metal build, battery that lasts forever, and a really rather wonderful QWERTY keyboard. The autofocus 5-megapixel camera on the back's pretty good too. The E72's Achilles heel is its low RAM, which means you might want to stay away from desktop class websites. Getting towards the top of the heap here with the Samsung Omnia 7 at number 4, available for just under £100 second-hand. This is still a modern Windows Phone 7 device with excellent 4-inch Super AMOLED screen and decent build quality. Into the top 3 second-hand bargains now with this, the Nokia X6 at £60. Nokia's first capacitive touchscreen smartphone from 2009, just under 3 years ago. Yes, it's the slightly clunky S65th edition, but it's been updated a load of times. There's the usual free world sat-nav. There's a decent set of applications, a replaceable battery, a rather good 5-megapixel camera, and best of all, twin loud stereo speakers amongst the loudest and highest quality I've ever heard on a phone. It's a veritable portable boombox. At number 2, I have to give a shout out here to the Apple iPhone 3G, now found second-hand at around £70. Yes, it's not as lightning fast as the current generation, but the principles and much of the idiot-proof interface are the same. Many of the same games and nearly all the same applications run on it, and hey, it's an iPhone, which means you can wave it around in the right circles and you can sell it for as much as you got for it anytime you like. But at number 1, the second-hand bargain of the moment is, in my eyes, the Nokia C7. It might seem unassuming, being a late 2010 Symbian 3 smartphone with an EDOF camera, but look closer. Replaceable battery, FM transmitter, a decent oleophobic screen, full near-field communications functions, yes, really the only device in this second-hand roundup to have NFC, and best of all, fully upgradable to the very latest Nokia Bell version of Symbian and the very latest Nokia Map suite. Average second-hand selling price, £90, which for a geek like you who's happy to upgrade and install stuff, makes it my top pick. For now anyway, comments welcome if you've picked up a bigger second-hand bargain recently. What if I told you I had in my hands the very first touchscreen smartphone? It's got a 3.5-inch screen. It dates from the year 2000, a full 10 years before Nokia's N8, 7 years before the Apple iPhone, and several years before the first S60 smartphone. Hard to believe? Well, here's the proof. The Ericsson R380. I actually used to own one, but foolishly eBayed it almost a decade ago now. Thanks to viewer John Dyer for sending in this example for my growing smartphone museum. It's all here, apart from the phosphorescent backlight having failed in the intervening 12 years. Yes, phosphorescent. There's quite a bit here that's different to the way things work these days. 2000 was pre-GPRS, pre-Bluetooth, pre-Wi-Fi, pre-just about everything. And I love GSM Arena's entry for the R380. For size, instead of the usual dimensions in millimeters, it puts simply big. The R380 ran a touchscreen interface on top of Symbian, yes, the first device to run Symbian OS, and connected up using circuit-switched data, essentially making a data-only phone call, dial-up modem style. Anybody remember that? Wow, this is just so old school. Of particular note here is the dual form factor, with keypadded phone turning into full touchscreen smartphone, yet without any electronic moving parts or cables, thanks to the way each key presses a little nipple down into the resistive touchscreen beneath. Really rather elegant. There's the basics of contacts management, calendar and note-taking. There's even a built-in Go game. There were no native third-party apps. Extra functionality here was all WAP-based. That's WAP, a precursor to the modern web. But it was similar to how web applications were implemented on the first iPhone, to be fair. And check out this on-screen keyboard. Next time you're tempted to complain about how fiddly text entry is on your smartphone, remember this and be glad. The wonderfully old-fashioned and yet wonderfully futuristic Ericsson R380. Around the turn of the millennium, December 99, the magazine Popular Science apparently declared the R380 to be one of the most important advances in science and technology. It's not hard to see why.